Last year I made a video explaining why League of Legends Wild Rift isn't getting a global release yet, and looking back at that video I just realized how horrible I was at explaining it. In fact, it was pretty bad. I've been thinking about deleting all of my old videos, but the other side of me keeps insisting that I should leave them as evidence of how the quality of my video has been improving from time to time. So yeah, sometimes I just hate myself for doing this, so please just pretend like those videos don't exist. Anyway, in this video I want to take a deep dive into explaining more into details on why Wild Rift hasn't gotten a global release yet, even though it's been like 4 years I think, ever since it has been announced for beta test. Let's start with the obvious one, that Riot Games is taking a slow and steady approach to the development of their games, to which they have mentioned on their website that they don't want to rush the release of a game, as they want to ensure it meets their high standards. I will leave the link to the source in the description, but knowing some of you aren't going to read it, so I might as well read it for you, but feel free to skip this part if you're going to read it on your own. Alright, I'm at the website right now, and it says, when is the original open beta coming to my area? Launching a mobile game of this scope and quality present a lot of unique challenges, not the least of which is managing a complex global network. With this in mind, it is and always has been our mission to make sure all our titles are region ready before going live. Some places have more boxes to tick than the other, but we firmly believe that a slower, smoother launch will give more value to our players than a rushed, fractured one. Players looking for more information on regional open beta schedule can get all the latest deets at Wild Rift official website, and always thank you for your patience. This is actually a good thing, as we all know what can happen when a game is rushed to release. Bugs and glitches can ruin the player's experience, leading to negative reviews and lost trust with the developers. Speaking of Wild Rift Dev, did you know that their team always does a great job at keeping their player base informed about every changes they make? And to prove this, look no further than at this video called the Dev Update. Link is in the description to check it out on your own, but to summarize everything about this video is that the Wild Rift team will be reducing the number of patches in 2023 from 6 patches going down to 5 patches. At the same time, their goal still remains the same, to deliver the well-optimized, bug-free and clean game to all the mobile devices. I highly recommend you to check it out after this, because they explained into details on why they were making those changes, and that they will be listening to players' feedback about the changes. You know, it's actually nice when the players aren't kept in the darkness when it comes to changes like this. It also shows that the communication between the devs and the community isn't that bad, unlike a certain company with a certain game that got released at 2022 and got shut down in 2023. In addition to that, I feel like the team behind Wild Rift social accounts should do a better job at responding to players' feedback and thoughts. I get it that not everyone is positive when it comes to social media accounts, especially Twitter, but we have people like this who are just openly sharing their thoughts about the updates and what needs to be improved about the game. At least letting them know with a friendly tweet would be nice, like, hey, we have been reading your thoughts about the game and here's what we're working on, or maybe something like, hey, we have been reading your thoughts about the game and here why this is not possible. Something like that does prove that these social accounts aren't run by bots, but they're indeed run by people who also pay attention when players share their thoughts about the game. Or maybe there are things that are happening in the background which I do not know why things like this are impossible, but I'm pretty sure most of players will have a social account that is trying to connect with their players. Alright, and as for my last reason, this one might be confusing to some of you all, but you need to view this from a business perspective in order to understand this. And also this is the reason that I thought about it this year, because it seems more convincing to me than the previous one. Yeah, think about it, Riot Games is a behemoth in the gaming industry, so of course it does make sense that a company like them would have a massive portfolio of games under their belt. They're working on several projects simultaneously, some of which have been announced and some of which still remain under their watch. Games like Mage Seeker, Song of Nunu and Convergence are some of the games that will be coming at 2023, and games like Project L, Project F, Hytale, Valorant Mobile and Riot MMO are some of the games that we heard or seen information about, but we don't even know when will they be released. Despite laying off some employees this year, Riot Games is still hiring for various positions, and to prove this, if you search for open position on the website, Wild Rift is among them. While the company may be facing challenges in meeting players' expectations, their commitment to perfecting their games is a positive sign for both players and the company's long-term success. Although Riot Games is best known for creating League of Legends, they have expanded their portfolio in recent years and continue to develop and publish new games. Therefore, it is fair to say that Riot Games is a company that is dedicated to making high-quality games that players can enjoy. And that's pretty much it. If you made it this far, feel free to share your thoughts about this video and Wild Rift as a whole. And I'm also curious to know which character made you play Wild Rift in the first place. Mine are Irelia, Raven, Morgana, Ahali. Actually, most of them are female characters except for 1 or 2 I guess. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.